This is in regards to the blue line flag, particularly the one that showed up on Bricktown Township Police Department's Facebook page. And I'm going to address something here because it needs to be addressed. The legal issues and the morality issues. Let me say for the record, the blue line flag, in my opinion, is a modified American flag. You could say it's a desecration of the flag, that it violates federal code. But it also is protected speech. It's protected by the First Amendment. So the law on the books, the federal law on the books, is an unenforceable law because it's in direct contradiction to the First Amendment. Now, I am a champion of the First Amendment. Everybody knows that. I use it every day when I make these videos. This video right now is protected speech. So, yes, we're putting up there as a desecration of the American flag, and it violates federal law, in my opinion. But it's an unenforceable law. I fully support any person out there on their property or when they're out in public to display that flag. That is their right to display that modified American flag known as the blue line flag, the blue fin flag, the gang flag, the blue ISIS flag, whatever flag you want to call it. I support the right. There's a guy right near where I'm at who has it on his front lawn on the pole. I don't like it. I find it offensive, but it's his right to do it. It's his property, and he's more than welcome to do it. Just as people want to fly that gang flag on the back of their car, or they want to have a blue line flag sticker on their car, that is their right, and I support it 100%. But now you're saying, well, Gunnison, you're contradicting everything you're saying here because you find that flag offensive and you want it down. Okay. Here is the argument. The argument is the property that the police work in is owned by the taxpayer. It is public property. It does not belong to the police. The police work there. They are there at our will. We employ them. We pay them with our tax money. That property belongs to the taxpayer. It does not belong to the police department. It does not belong to any individual police officer that works there. Next, that blue line gang flag, as I call it, because that's what it is, it represents a gang, a group. That is a group, that is a flag that represents a special interest group. And this is where the problem comes into. That Bricktown or any other police department, I've already showed a few of them already on their Facebook page, when they display that flag on public property, they are promoting a specialized special interest group. And that is the problem. So if they are permitted to display their specialized symbol, the blue line gang flag, then why should not the KKK, a Nazi group, a religious group, any group, why should they not be able to go into that same very building and hang their symbol, their flag, right next to that blue line flag? That's the argument. Now, if you or I want to walk in there and hang a flag with Jesus Christ hanging on the cross up in that wall, how long do you think that flag will stay up there? Not very long. And that is the problem. So I would say to the police and everybody else, your argument to the police, our argument is that it's a specialized group symbol that represents a specialized group, and it has no place on public property. If you want to take that blue line flag and fly it in front of your house, you want to put the sticker in your window, you are more than welcome to do it. But when it comes to public property, that symbol does not belong on the taxpayer's wall. And I will further say this to law enforcement. Public social media is exposing you. We are starting to see who you really are. Now, you might live in a life of denial, but we don't. There's too many videos out there now that show what you're doing. And I'm not saying that every officer out there is doing these bad things. I'm not saying every department out there is displaying that gang flag or doing those things. But you, law enforcement, as a community, have been exposed. And you are doing some shady things, and you are hurting Americans. You're killing unarmed citizens every year in the range of 1,200 or more a year. You get on there and you cry that your officers are being killed, which is in itself tragic, and I don't support any officer or any human being being killed for no reason other than they're out doing their job. But you are hurting Americans. Every day, videos are coming out where you are beating, kicking, mauling, hurting Americans. You're shooting Americans in the back, trying to cover up the evidence. You're lying on reports. You're doing all kinds of things to hurt Americans. And when I, as an American, look at that flag, that's what I see. I see a group of people who are banding together and showing that it's you guys against us. So you're separating yourself from everybody else, you know. You get up, I read your Facebook pages and your groups and stuff, and you go out there and you act like you're better than everybody else, that you deserve special considerations and special privileges simply because you signed up to do a particular job. And I don't buy into it. You're no better than me or anybody else. You're no better than the bum on the street or anybody with money in their pocket. When you take your clothes off, you're a human being just like everybody else. You take that clown suit off, you're still a human being. You know, the old saying, you put your pants on the same way I do, and you're not any special than anybody else. And your blue line flag that you have, you are projecting that to the public as if you deserve special consideration, that you're better than us, and that we should bow down and treat you differently. And that's not the case. So in my opinion, that blue line flag that you put up there is disrespectful to me as an American. It's disrespectful to me as a citizen. And yes, I feel it's desecrating the American flag. You are modifying it to represent something. And it has no place on public property. And myself and everybody else out there that pays taxes, we own that building. And we don't want that flag on our building. As simple as that. So enough with your blue narcissistic syndrome problems, okay? Take that flag off your wall, off our wall. It's not your wall. You work in our building. That's our building, our property. It's not yours. Take it down. It doesn't belong there. It doesn't belong on any public property. Because if you're going to hang it up on your wall or up on your flagpole, then I should be able to come over and hang the flag that I like, that represents a group that I'm interested in. Or if a Nazi or a KKK or a religious group wants to come in there and hang their flag up, then they should be entitled to do the same thing because it's public property. And public property represents everybody. It doesn't represent you. This is Gunnison Undercover. Let me know what you think about this comments I've made in the comments section.